Hey, hello everybody at 815 Outside. Welcome to Severson Dells. I'm Rick Barton. Some of you may know me. Some of you may have bought some gear from me somewhere down the line. Or maybe your parents did. Maybe your grandparents. Maybe your great-grandparents. I do go that far back. I've been supplying outdoor gear, camping, hiking, kayaking, paddle sports, snow sports for this area since 1973. I'll let you guys know the math there. Through all that time, I've collected a lot of information from my customers. I am a participant in all the sports that I've always done. I'm not just somebody ringing a cash register, never have been with it. I am retired, if you haven't seen me for a while. Currently, though, in retirement, I work for Obo's Footwear and Fit Socks as a technical advisor, doing sales clinics for store staffs, especially REIs and some of the bigger stores. So what I'm here today to tell you about is some of my takes on what you should have as gear. Just go out and hike trails. So we're going to start out with talking about footwear. And the key thing, if you're looking at hiking boots or if you're looking at hiking shoes, which is what I'm going to talk about a little bit more, go to a store that first of all carries them. You can't get measured. You can't try stuff online. Yes, I know everybody's, says I'm a size this and that, whatever. Get yourself measured. There's four dimensions that people in shoe stores look at, not just the length of your big toe to your heel. We look at the width of your foot. We look at the arch length, and this is extremely important when you're working with hiking boots, is the length of your arch. If you're not in the right place in that, it can cause other issues that you have with you. And that salesperson should look at how much volume you have. How big is your foot in the toe box? Do you need more toe box area? Just a lot of cool stuff like that. But really, go to a shoe store. Go to an outdoor store here. Locally we have Rocktown Adventures, a nice shoe store. In the 815 also is Brown Shoe Fit in Freeport that will measure your foot and be able to put you in proper hiking boots. The other thing is deciding what you want to do shoe-wise. There seems to be a big run of people that want to do trail shoes or take your road running shoes off-road onto the trails. There's some little bit of issues with that. A trail running shoe's got some pretty good traction through it. It might have a little bit of extra support under the foot. Some of the problems with trail running shoes, even though they're light, is they're extremely flexible. There's not a whole lot of support as you step on a root or you step on some rocks. This one does have rock protection underneath it, but they don't give you a lot of support to go out on. If you're a runner and you're a trail runner and this is what you're used to hiking on, great. Find the one that's comfortable for you. You can get the lightweight in a hiking shoe. Even though this looks a little bit like a trail running shoe, you can actually get a nice lightweight shoe with a lot more support. You can do some lateral support in the back. You will have what's called a shank in it, which I'm going to show you in a minute what I'm talking about on a shank. You can get it waterproof. You can get it breathable. Good cushion all the way through. Some people would rather go with a little more, as we see it as a hiking boot. This is a mid-height boot. A little more leather on it for protection. Above this, which I didn't bring, are backpacking boots, which can be overkill unless you are going to go backpacking. It's still not a bad thing to have. Generally, a mid-height boot like this is not going to give you a lot more ankle support. Don't be fooled by that. You can't tighten it tight enough to really support your ankle unless you've got one more lace up on here. Support of footwear actually comes from what they make the middle out of, where you plant first. When you come down, you want that stable, and that's going to be stable all the way up through your chain on it. Sizing was important. I want to show this in the camera. The black part in here is what's called a shank, and this keeps the boot. Most of your modern boots will be flexible at the ball of the foot like a running shoe, but you're going to have some support at the back so you don't overflex. Plantar fasciitis everybody seems to have it somewhere in their life. And a lot of that is caused by overflexing of shoes. If you're climbing up slight trails, if you step on a root, if you trip yourself in that, if that shoe's going to collapse totally on you, you're probably going to pull or rip the fascia that's holding your arch together, the tendons of your foot. It's like a little net that holds everything together with it. So this shank actually will give you that support in a hiking shoe and a hiking boot. When I mentioned about how important arch length was a little while ago in a shoe, If your arch is sitting in the wrong place in a shoe just by guessing, this shank, you can't overflex it. It's going to push your toes to the front anyway. So no matter how big you think you want to buy that shoe to get some room in the toe box, be careful. Stay somewhere in that arch length that you're doing with it. One quick note of that is the waterproof versus breathable. A lot of people want to have waterproof shoes and don't quite understand what's waterproof. This thing that I just put on my hand right here is a waterproof bootie. This is what's waterproof in shoes, not the outer. This actually came out of a waterproof version of this shoe here, so it is a low one. Your waterproof shoes are great, and they are all waterproof as long as you don't step in a lot of water. It doesn't make sense. As long as you're not out in 80 degrees and you're perspiring so much that the perspiration can't escape through the shoe as a breathable. My take is that in hiking around here, you need two shoes. You need a breathable one, you need a waterproof one. Breathable shoes you can always dry out very quickly with it. That's the 2 cents worth that we got. And have the socks that you want to wear when you buy your shoes. If you wear compression socks, take those with you to try shoes on, because sometimes the compression socks will be a little different fit. I did make mention that cotton. If I take a step back here, I'm wearing my normal hiking clothing today with it. I'm not wearing anything cotton. Some of you are going to look at it and go, no, he's got a flannel shirt on. This is a polyester shirt, so it's not a cotton one. The problem with cotton, when it gets wet, it will hold that moisture. It doesn't let it go anywhere. It just kind of holds it there. In cooler weather, that's going to eventually cool you down and cause some other problems with it. It also has cotton has absolutely no built-in sun protection at all. Sun protection clothing does have UPS stuff built into it. Cotton doesn't have any. Polyesters, like this shirt is, like this hat happens to be a polyester hat that I've got here for sun protection. That stuff has got a natural amount, even though it might not be in that with it. But quick dry, DWR type coated. Layers, base layers depending on your weather. Kind of a mid layer. I'm wearing 2 mid layers today, the polyester shirt and a nice vest that I have. Outer layers that you want to do, you can do rain gear if you know you're going to have a rain gear. You can actually pull out and do some winter coats when you've got it really cold as an extra piece of garment. You got to kind of look at that when you go into that with it. Another handy thing as I move down the line are gaiters. We talked about waterproof. If you get water in your shoe, it's not waterproof anymore. Gaiter will help keep some of that mud and water and keep your shoes cleaner